from Come again?
We've just finished a 2-week devising process with Teatro de Montemuro, who we're doing a co-production with to create a piece of work called Pertencia. We're looking at how the two companies can come together to create a new piece of work and looking at how we marry up the devising process with using a writer to help frame and shape the piece as we go along.
Francis originally suggested that Foursight Theatre and TRSM got together and explored the possibility of a collaboration, and that was back in about 2002. And we were excited by the idea that because TRSM is almost entirely male in its makeup and Foursight Theatre is almost entirely female in its makeup, and that they live up a mountain and we live in an urban situation, that there might be a meeting point where we could bring our experiences together. It's taken until now for it to come to fruition.
Because it's a bilingual work, the idea is that the form should be more open and more poetic, letting the audience come into it in different ways so they're not put off by the language. So a lot of it will be very visual, the music will play a big part, and Peter's trying to prepare a script and a way through the material that is accessible to the audience from that point of view, and then we will flesh it out physically when we get to Portugal.
Over the past 2 weeks we've been researching and developing ideas for the production that we'll be working on in Portugal at the end of September. It's been wonderful hearing the trickle of Portuguese over the past 2 weeks. Rehearsing with 2 languages has been very, very interesting. What we've been doing is trying to figure out how much needs to be said, how much we can strip away.
One little piggy went to Mars.
What's it been like working with the Portuguese company? Wonderful, very natural actually. We all had the same sensation that we feel like there's a common style of working, and we feel very quickly that we've got a strong sense of ensemble.
Over the past couple of weeks we've been playing a lot and exploring themes from the show, but musically thinking about childhood themes, songs from childhood, lullabies, game songs, and distorting those really, and yeah, finding a way of adding that into the action. 2, 3.
We have been working quite well for these 2 weeks, and it's been really a pleasure to share experiences and information, particularly with Mary Keith, who is also working in the musical part.
The next stages in the process are for me to come up with a scenario that we're all happy with. At its heart is a story of a woman called Pertencia. She works as a nursemaid, a wet nurse, in a butcher's, but the butcher's is actually a front, and she has to come to terms with the truth of what she does. And then she finds out really big truths which make the whole of our world crumble to bits, and she has to deal with it. Within that structure we tell stories of different kinds of lost children. We deal with terrible things in a way which is sometimes grotesque and funny, working with large characters, working with music, and at other times we bring it right down to the brutal reality of the stories and situations and people that we're dealing with.
I hope the film footage that you've just seen has given you some insight into the process and the style and the kind of content of the piece we're working on together. and that you'll follow the company as we continue to create this piece of work with Teatro de Montemuro by visiting the blog and seeing what we're up to.